after swapping from top lane into jungle, Connor breached into gold very quickly. This is what we worked on. All right, well, let's go and take a look. So how many games do we have on Bolivar?
Um, this is actually like 20 games in jungles in general. I switched from top like a week or two ago, so I'm kind of out of this session, just trying to look for like an early pre 10-minute game plan. I'm sure there's a ton I'm not doing right, so
For sure, okay. So, and we are in silver, right?
yes.
Okay, yeah, like, have you found sort of like what is your game plan on Bolivar, or what do you have? Do you have like a rough idea of how you want to be playing a champion?
So I've watched the guide on the website, so I know that he has a very strong 1 and 2 item spike, and that I kind of want to look. I mean, like post 10 minutes, I know that I should be looking for like dives onto the enemy top or AD carry to try to take their tower and accelerate the game, but I'm kind of not really trying to review that. So in the first 8 to 10 minutes, I think it's just like, am I F keying right now to like check what the state of the lanes are and know whether there's a gank possible or not? I think that's the main thing I'm kind of thinking about so far.
For sure. So I think if we, yeah, so I think one thing Voliver does have as well is like his farming is actually pretty solid, right? So I think you definitely want to lean on tempo and making sure that you're clearing your camps. I mean, honestly, with anything and you being new to the role, like foundationally, the first thing you want to get good at is just cycling your camps and farming, establishing that as a
Yeah.
foundation, and obviously like understanding how to fight on your champion. And then yeah, a bit of like your strengths and weaknesses, kind of how you're mentioning, like when is your champion strong, when is it weak, and then really like when your camps are down and you have times to do something on the map, how productive are you being with those timers? Like kind of those things are the first sort of things to start you off with. So
Yeah.
we just start you off with this clear. So you do go here and then you notice that your raptors are gone. This is not an issue at all. Really just not an issue at all. And you keep farming. So this is good. You don't get yourself distracted. So I think the very first thing that I would just optimize here for your clearing, since again, like the first thing is you kind of want to just again, get in
Go
the
ground
rhythm
first.
of just like, yeah, always go ground first. Go ground first, do your blue buff last. This way your sequences for future clears will be in sync and smoother, and there won't be like this
Yeah.
awkward waiting time. And then here we look at the first thing. So you're done with your first camp. Obviously, the first thing is going to be what crab you go for. But even before that, honestly, I think I would consider spending some time in practice though, just to get your clear down, because I think that's also like one of the first important things you want to get down is making sure that your clear speed is good enough to actually be able to
Sure.
get here. Because you actually didn't even do 6 camps. You did 5 camps and relate to crab, right? So imagine if we would have done the six camps, right? And
Yeah.
when I'm
Yeah.
taking our raptors, we would have been pretty late. And that's especially important because if you're not even there once crab spawns, and we might not even have a chance at contesting it.
Okay.
You might not even see it too much with there because the people that you're going against
I'm in
might also,
silver, so
yeah,
I'm going against shitters too. Yeah.
people you might not be good at clearing as well, but that even gives you even more of a reason to invest some time into clearing, because if you get the crab on time and all the junglers you're going against are not, like you're gonna get easy crabs. You might even get like double crab every single game, just simply off of spending like a few hours in practice so getting you cleared out. So there's a pretty high return for the time that you would spend just like clearing it. So that would definitely be like foundationally the first thing. And then here, the one thing you want to really be thinking about is like the first respawn. It's like how long is your timer? Like the timer that you do have to do something or to be productive on the map will depend on when your first respawn is beginning. So I would also really say that you want to turn timers on so that you're always seeing when your first camp is respawning. Because once you do finish your crab here and then you press tab, we do see that there's 39 seconds here, right? And you're
Yeah.
kind of looking for that 25-second respawn timer. That's when you want to start recalling.
Okay.
That's when you want to start your recall, right? Because that's pretty much the time that it takes you to recall and then get there in time
And
as
then
soon as
get
it
there.
spawns. Yeah.
Okay.
So really,
So
like,
is there anything I could have done in that 39? There's like 14 seconds in there.
yeah.
I don't think there's really anything I could have done there, right? So recalling's fine.
Yep, I totally agree. I think your Smolder just got the killer too, right? So there's actually really nothing for you to do here.
Yeah.
We don't really have information. Maybe you would consider checking top crab, but then you would be late. And then what if it's not there? It's just too coin flippy, too inconsistent to go for. So yeah, the best thing for you to do is just to simply recall here and then just go. You can just go back to clear, right? And then this is also the
Okay.
important thing, again, just to kind of stress the important thing about clearing. The less time you spend clearing your camps because of faster red, the more time you can spend actually being productive and playing the game, right? There's a big
Right.
difference to just some arbitrary numbers. If you spend 60 seconds clearing camps, right, then maybe you have like 30 seconds to do something. And if you spent
Okay.
like 30 seconds doing camps, you have 60 seconds, like double the time. Obviously, this is not,
Makes
this is
sense.
not,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but
This
you
is
get the
this is
point.
a simplistic example. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Just so you can kind of understand why it's so important. And then
Yeah.
you can spend more time actually playing the game and impacting it. You do go to Raptors here. I don't mind this. Maybe you might be scared that he might take it again, so it's not the end of the world for you
Yeah.
to do this. Um, yeah, because I think if you had done your crab in time, like I wouldn't be against you kind of, hey, there's no gank bot. Actually, like over here, we'll just move back really quickly. If you finish this in time and you will be done by crab bot like this, because you probably take like 5 seconds to do it, and you have like an entire like 20, 25 seconds or something, I wouldn't mind if you go check this, right? Go check this out. Go check, like, if he did his
Okay.
Raptors, there's
Makes sense.
something that he
Yeah.
missed. There's something that has to be up in his clear. Or maybe you just spend some time and visit this, right? Like you have plenty of time to just go check, okay, what has he not done? Because Ivern cannot like take your Raptors, smite them, and then do the entire clear. Like, no, like he has to be, there's something up, right? And that's the one
Right.
thing that we can look to take. Or even just getting
Okay.
information, right? Can be pretty valuable. Okay. So yeah, I think this is fine. You go here and then they get back to camps. This is totally fine. Just try to find them ASAP. You finish your clears, and then once again, you would want to do the same thing. So you finish your Gromp, and you can kind of look at what is the next camp here. Or let's see, you kind of press tab real quick. We'll see if we get a pause on it really quickly. Yeah, 1 minute. So 102, 101, right? So you have like an entire 31, like what, 36 seconds to do whatever you want. Now,
Yeah.
there's a particular thing that you want to be looking at in every one of your clears. Like the first one, you're looking at crab, right? Maybe a gank. And then the second clear after
Okay.
you finish this, the one thing you're looking at is like, what am I going to do about dragon? What am I going to do about the second crab spawn? Because a lot of times this is going to give you level 6. And it might even as well, just in the standard game, will give you smite upgrade. So it's like
Okay.
a pretty valuable craft to go for. And if you don't have the timer here, there's a good chance that it's going to be spawning over here in around like 30 seconds-ish, right? Which is
Okay.
that's something pretty valuable to play for because it gives you really relevant things. So you see you have 22, right, stacks. The Akra would
Right.
then give you to 20, which would give you your 1,000 K smites.
Upgraded smite. Okay.
And a lot of times like this can lead to either just forcing dragon with that, right? Possibly. Or that can mean to
Yeah.
forcing the buff respawn, right? You can just go and contest either blue or red respawn because you have a better smite. Like it's guaranteed yours. There's nothing they can do. Their smite is 600. It's goes 400 less. That could be a reason for you to admit. Because one thing the Valorant does also have early game is his dueling is actually not bad at all. He has some pretty solid dueling early game, especially with Lethal Tempo. So, and then the third one, right, is going to be you want to be looking at what am I going to do about the grubs, right? And again, it would be the same thing. You're looking to do grubs, or you're looking to possibly cross map, right? So you're looking into a situation where you full clear, right, on your third clear, and then okay, do I recon go grubs, or do I hey he did like this and went grubs? Maybe I can while he's doing grubs, I can just go take his red side because he skipped all these camps to go take him, right? That could be something
Okay.
to play for. So again, like really, if you're looking at the first 8 minutes, that's really what they're going to be about. It's like those timers that you have after you've done your camps. What are we doing with them? So in this case, I would even consider here you have a winning bots, your brand has priority. I would be totally fine if you just like literally rush the dragon right now. I think you
Okay.
very easily do it.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Especially because Ivern should not be level 6. He will be closer than you, yes, because he has one extra count, but he should not be level 6. This is just a very easy dragon for you to take, which you do end up taking. Okay, this is good. And then this is kind of the same thing. Hey, those like 30 seconds that you had, you use it on taking dragon. And this is when efficiency comes in. So that way we're taking things when our camps are down, then we're not dropping any sort of efficiency or dropping any tempo. And we're not giving the enemy jungler any opportunity to take camps, right? Which is
Right.
why the classic on the third clear of him, the example that I gave him doing this blue side into gloves would be incorrect because then he gives you the opening to take his red side, right? So you also
Right.
kind of want to look at it this way. When you do take objectives like this dragon, it's really good to take them when your camps are down because there's nothing he can do about it. There's no counterplay. But that also means that we need to make this ASAP, right? We need to make this fast. Hey, let's get in. Let's get the dragon. I got to get back to farming ASAP. So do this like probably like 5, 6, 7 seconds faster. And then insta recon, just look to get back on your camps, right? Because we need to keep clearing it. We need to not give Ivern any windows to take our camps. So definitely speed
Okay.
does matter in all this case.
So on the
Yeah.
second clear, it's fine to just pull the trigger on a Drake. The only reason I kind of did it here is because the Smolder had just picked up a solo kill. So even if there's not any lane state like that, it's fine to just like bucket roll a Drake at this point of the game, or
That's a good question. I think it just depends. Honestly, I think your lanes do have to be in a decent state. Because, like, this is definitely what is the reason why you would do this, even before Smolder gets a solo kill. I'm so okay with you doing the Dragon right now because you have your brand is about to push a lane and you can move here first, right? Your bot lane is winning, so they can also move here first. And also, your champion is definitely going to be stronger than Ivern at this point. Ivern before 6 is pretty weak. All he has is a root and a shield and 0 damage. So the champion's not very useful. So even if they show up, like you're going to be in a great spot.
makes sense.
But if you don't have priority, maybe the jungler could be here. Maybe the 1v1 is a little bit dangerous. Okay, maybe you don't go for the dragon. And then you're looking at what do I do about the crab? Maybe you just recall and you buy some items and then you go play for the top crab that's going to respawn. And then you get the Drake, right? And if it takes so long with the Drake, maybe you can walk in here and take his blue buff as well, right? There's pretty much always something to do after you finish your full clear. So yeah, this is going to be fine. And again, I would just take my recall here. So this kind of situation that you're coming into where you're like, oh, I need to get back to my camps because of respawning. This is just from us not being fast enough, right? If we are fast enough at clearing and we're fast enough for no decision making, then we can actually very easy recall here. We don't have to skip it, right? Because ideally, you always want to get like, hey, you get a full clear. And after the full clear, you get a timer, right? To do whatever you want, right? You can do Drake, you can gank, right? You can invade, like whatever you want to do, whatever is the most productive thing. And then you want to recall afterwards, right? So that you materialize the gold that you just produced or just a certain, and then you go back and sort of replete the cycle, right?
Okay.
So then you go here, okay. You might as well just full clear again. And then the only difference that you would have to kind of fix the situation is you want to recall instantly. But we do see that average top side, right? He has 59 CS.
Yeah, exactly.
We might actually be looking to explore into his bot side camps, I think would be the interesting thing. Yeah, like this is kind of like the bit of the awkward thing, I think, is that we are in a bit of a weird cycle where we just have to like, notice how you finish your camps. And then your Raptors are actually going to be outputted. Let me see if
yeah.
Let me just check. 24 seconds. Yeah, 24 seconds. So they're going to be up really soon. So it's like we barely have enough time to recall. Honestly, you probably just stick your recall at this point. But yeah, like I want you to kind of like, we don't even have much time to do things because we're not clear.
Clear speed is just terrible. Yeah. Okay, got it.
So it's going to be definitely like one thing that you want to get down, especially being new to the role as well. It's just the foundational is like the first thing you want to get down, really.
Makes sense.
So you do get this, okay, and it's like weird. It's like now we're stuck kind of clearing again because it's like we love the recall, but our counts are respawning.
Exactly.
Okay, we finally get because like that's also the other thing. Items are not just for fighting; they're also to clear faster, right? So if you're skipping your recalls, it means that your clear is not speeding up. The camps are getting harder to get, but we're not matching the camps with items. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yep, and then here as well, I think this is. You finish your clear, you have a decent amount of time. Yeah, you're going to be late to Raptors. And I think you also don't want to you want to have a certain degree of leeway. Like if you are going to be late to Raptors, for example, as long as there's a good justification, it's totally okay. It's like, I'm going to be late to Raptors, but I took the second dragon. Or I went for a bot.
Makes sense.
Right. Or I took his Raptors or something. Then it's okay, right? If you did something like that, like I also don't want you to kind of tunnel. It's like I need to get there every time. Oh, I know there's a gank. Yeah. Nothing. Let me just cancel. I need to be.
But I better have a good reason before I do that.
Exactly. Okay, exactly. Yep. If you are going to be late, there needs to be a good reason. Like this, yeah. If you want to take the dragon and then because of that you're going to be late to Raptors, totally fine. Totally fine for you to do that. Which actually it is what you end up doing. So this is really solid. Then you go here. Clear again. And then you can take the crab. Okay, solid. And now here's when we can go ahead and do something, right? And this is definitely one of Volibear's strengths is dives. I think this is definitely one of the Volibear's pretty important parts. And I think we're against two squishy persons, right? So, Misfortune and Lux are pretty squishy. Our Smolder is pretty strong, and Tarek as well can give some pretty good CC. He can also tank. So I would be possibly thinking of like, hey, can I dive on this wave, right? Can I go and look to pull off a dive here on this wave? Q, stun him, E, You ER on them. Ideally, with Voliver, you want to stun them and then immediately R afterwards, so that way your R is guaranteed. And then just like
Right.
your
Okay.
R and the shield drops at the same time. You get a lot of burst damage. You disable the turret, and this can be like a really good dive for you. This is good. I mean, you have a number advantage. You have a rotation for your top laner. The ideally way you E is like, it's really good to E and Q because you hide the animation so they don't see it coming. So they just kind of start seeing the circle where they're running away. And then ideally, like in the 2 seconds, actually, it's like 1.5 seconds that it's going
Yeah,
to be stunned.
EQ is not good. Okay.
Yeah, that's when like when about you want the E to detonate when they're stunned, right? Like the way you always want to think about
Makes sense.
any fighting, and especially Voliver, is you want to leave as little counterplay as possible, right? So how can I leave as little counterplay as possible? Stun them right as my E detonates, so they can't flash out of it, they can't dash outside of it, they can't do anything. Or if it's a little bit difficult, maybe you don't even E from the beginning. Maybe you just Q and then you save it. But I think really it is also okay to just like the primary thing you want to be getting from your E is definitely your shield, right? You can miss it sometimes or not miss it, but like they might be able to mobility, but you definitely want to be getting the shield every single time. Yeah, this is pretty good. Okay, nice. So this is pretty good, and I think from the farming that we've done, we're actually up like 24 CS, right? Which is 4 plus 22 CS, which is we're almost an entire full clear up, right? 4 counts,
Yeah.
694 equity. This is really nice. So I think this is something good that you can take away. Is the way that you're managing tempo and keeping tempo up, I think is pretty solid overall, right? So it's definitely not bad at all. This is a good start for sure. And then we go back to clearing. Okay. This is the other kind of rule with objectives, right? Which you want to kind of follow. If you're going to do objectives, just make sure your camps are down. It's just going to be the most efficient thing to do. The only time that I would skip camps to go do an objective like this would be if the enemy jungler is doing an illegal objective, right? What would I consider as an illegal objective? An objective that they're trying to start when maybe on your side as Voliver, you win the 1v1, or in this case, it would be a 3v3, you win the 3v3, or you have prio, right? Or it's like something along those lines where it's like, okay, this guy's starting to herald, and what is he doing? I have prio,
That's
I win
super
in
legal.
top,
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
winning mid, like I win 1v1, like yes, then please do skip your camps and run, kill him, and take the objective, right? But if it's like legal, if it's like, okay, he has priority, he has stuff, like that. Because a lot of times, because the junglers you're winning against are not really understanding tempo and the importance of farming your camps, like a lot of the way that most of the junglers you're going against are sort of listing their priorities, is they're thinking objectives are number 1, ganks are second, and then the last thing is farming, right? Yes.
Okay.
Well, really, your priority should be like the first thing is like making sure that you're cycling your camps. The second thing is like, hey, making sure that ganks are you can gank and impact your lanes, and the third thing really is your objectives, right? Like the first dragon that you took in the second clear. Okay, you finish your camps. Are there any ganks? No, there's no ganks. Is there an objective? Okay, yeah, we'll take the dragon, right?
Okay.
But you kind of exhaust all those options first. Okay, so that's really very common and around like bronze, silver, gold. This is like they have the completely wrong party. This should be
the flow chart's wrong here. Okay,
exactly.
Got it. The reason I took this Herald is because I saw Echo Bot and because he's really strong, and then the rest of the team is kind of not. So I just thought this would be fucking free.
It is free, right? Which is
But
like
I should just do my bot side instead. Is what you're saying.
Yep, honestly,
Okay.
like here, and it's like weird, right? Because it is free. 1,000% it's absolutely free, right? So it might be a little weird, but why is this a bad objective if it's totally free for me to take?
Yeah.
But the reason is just like, first, like your economy is one of the most important things, right? Because the gold XP is just the biggest predictor of which team is going to win the game, right? Not really who has the most objectives, because obviously it means
Herald, right? Yeah, that doesn't matter.
Yeah, it means you have more stats, and more stats means it's easier for you to win fights, and the easier it is for you to win fights, the easiest for you to take towers, barons, all that kind of stuff, and really progress the game. And also, like the other thing is like dragons are, especially when you have 2 dragons, they're definitely stronger, and I think you have a really clear, hey, let me full clear, recall, and then run back and be already on time for this dragon. I might even be able to get a bot
Makes sense.
this tower before, and then you're perfectly aligned. So it's also like the slight like opportunity cost from doing this herald. Like now you're going to be late. Now you need to do your camps, and then if you do your camps and your recall, now you're going to be a little bit late to dragon. Shouldn't be the end of the world because your team is winning pretty hard. But sometimes like now they have complete zone control over dragon, and now it's hard to enter. It's not the end of the world. Like you can just cross mount. You can adapt. that Tonkin.
Right.
I haven't seen the Tonkin skin yet. It's pretty funny. But But yeah, then you could just take mid tower and stuff like that. But like we have a very clear just stack soul, and honestly, a lot of times like your working formula is just going to be full clear and gank bot or take dragons, recall, full clear, gank bot or take dragons, recall, full clear, take dot. All of a sudden you have soul at 22 minutes, and then the game just gets really easy for you to play. Right? A lot of
Makes
times,
sense.
honestly, like that's a very standard basic working formula. Top lane ganks, mid lane ganks, Herald grubs. You kind of just like, hey, I'm just gonna clear my ganks and bot, take dragons, and a lot of times that's like a good thing. I
That
like to
worked
start with. Yeah.
a lot of time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Buff. You got a bit of time here, 39 seconds. There's really not much going on. It does seem like this is very similar to. Actually, no, there's a Caitlyn walking here. I actually don't know what the context. Yeah, it looks like your Mel is getting chased. Yeah, it looks like your Mel's getting chased the entire time. So she might need some help. Oh, we do actually realize. Oh, she's full health actually. Okay. So there's definitely a better way we could. I mean, I think. Trying to see how you could exactly fix this, right? Because a lot of it is just like on the easiest way to kind of improve awareness is like understand the importance of it, right? Obviously, the more information you have, the better decisions you will make. So it's like here, I think maybe during the camps might be a little hard, but at least as you're walking to camps, you want to be looking at really bot lane and mid lane, but mostly really bot lane. So while you're on your way to walking towards crab, maybe you take one clan spots, and then boom, you go do your crab right as fast as possible. You QEW it. Is there a reason why you save your abilities here?
Just in case the enemy jungler shows, and then I can fight him with the abilities instead of wasting them on the crab.
I see. Okay. That can definitely be fair. I think the difference here would be is like if he is pathing bot, where would he be?
He'd be ganking bot at this point. Yeah, that's kind of just a general thing that I do. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
This is correct. 1,000% what you're thinking. But in this case, you have clear information that he's not here, right? Because he would probably be on Krugs, either doing them or he's literally just killing your Bell right now. Right?
So he's probably topside right now.
Yep,
if he's not
topside.
bot. Okay.
Yep, 1,000%. Another thing, it's kind of slightly common as well. Something that I kind of noticed in this elo is like a lot of junglers just default to starting bot for some reason. I don't know how often you run into that situation. I don't know how I guess relevant this information is yet, but it is something that I've noticed. And yeah, I think the way that we play this could be better. I guess we don't really have, we do have information that Caitlyn used Flash, right? So that's pretty valuable.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I guess I could flash on the Caitlyn, but my mindset was just make sure these two people don't die. Because I don't think there's a shot in hell we kill Caitlyn here, but I guess I could have flash Q'd him, flash QE, and that might have been enough, but I don't know. I mean, my Jinx is low, my Mel's low, so.
Yeah, so I think you would definitely be able to kill Caitlyn here. I think you definitely have enough damage, if you just flash at her.
I'm level 4 on her level 2. I just realized that.
Yeah. And like Jinx she's low, but she's still going to be able to damage Caitlyn the entire time. And you have quite a bit of DPS. And like there's nothing Vigar can do about you going on Caitlyn, right? If it's not like a Nautilus or a Lulu or a Sirach or something that's going to heal Caitlyn, like she has no flash. Apparently she has no barrier as well. I think this is like the other slight thing. Paying attention to what your laners are pinging, right? And then when it clearly says they used it, I guess it doesn't say they used barrier, right? But if he used flash and then she pinged barrier as well, probably means that she has nothing. So yeah, and this is another thing that's very Volibear specific. Like, you do have a pretty good amount of damage early game. So yeah, I think if you flash on her, you very easily kill her. And then this would be really nice because then now you're getting a clear on top of your full clear. Now it's just exhilaration, right? So now you're even going to get an even better recall. It's going to speed up your clear. Right, you're going to get to balling faster, you're going to be able to do the dragon faster, everything is just amplified. And I think the other thing is, no, actually you don't have time anymore. So you had that one time where I think you could very easily just go Caitlyn, but it also just comes down from you just like looking at what's going on the map and then noticing that Caitlyn is coming. Because if you do that, you would probably just wait here on Fog and then wait for Caitlyn to cross here and then boom, you just pounce on her as soon as she shows. And then in that case, you might not even need flash. But at this point you notice, just flash on her, E, Q, W, like you probably have a good time because especially she pressed W here, right? And they always get the Q level 1, right? So if she's only level 2, then I mean that has to be W. They never
There's no W. E. She has no E.
Exactly, no E as well. So no escape, no flash, no barrier. Your Volibear, you have like this is you kind of checked off all the boxes for the speed and free kill.
Got it.
Yep. Okay, so then again, we just back to full clear, finish the full clear. Okay, solid. Now we're ready to go back on the map. And now this is a particular situation. If you do know the jungler's pathing top, by the time you end the clear, if you're fast enough, like he should be probably somewhere here, right?
Yes.
Actually, let me actually look back because I think he wasted even more time. Yeah, by the time you're on Krugs, he's barely just finishing killing Vladimir here. He might actually even have done a Raptor star, right? So this is what I like to call it, you having a temple lead, right? What does this mean is by the time you're on your, what would this be, your 7th camp, they're barely, yeah, I guess like you would say like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you know, and then a recall, and then, you know, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4 again. Like they're barely, you know, here, right? And
Right.
you're 3, 4, 5, 6, you know, recall.
I'm on 2 or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're, oops, that looks really, let me just fix this real quick.
It's scuffed, but I get it. I get it. Yeah.
You're all the way over here, right? So this
Yeah.
like gap between here, like is you having a temple lead, right? And with that temple lead, that means a lot of times we can use that to get just invades, right? The invades are possibly one. I probably wouldn't get into that one just yet. I'd say for now it's just like you turn that template into dragon. So by the time that you are over here done and you're doing dragon, right? They're barely going to be like somewhere, you know, over here
On the
like
full
2 to 3
camp or something like that. Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's like even if they do 3 and 4 recall and then run the dragon, they're just never going to be there in time, right? So if they want to get there, they have to skip camps, and the skip camps are weaker, right? And the skip camps, their sort of top camps are raw in the way. They're losing tempo. You're not losing any tempo because all your camps are down. So if they waste time and then they go to a dragon that they can't contest and they don't get it, and their camps are up the entire time, you get an even bigger tempo lead. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's just like snowballs from there. So, or a lot of times just to kind of give you, I guess, a preview for I wouldn't worry about too much, but it's still important for you to think about. That might mean that you can go from if he's barely like somewhere in recall moving to maybe somewhere here and you're already done very close to your 2nd camp, you can move from you're done with your 2nd camp and you move on to his 3rd camp, right? And then by the time he's like on his 1st camp, while he's doing his 1st camp, you're doing his 3rd camp, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like, and again, it's the same thing. It's like he can't really get there in time because he has to skip, and if he skips, it's bad, and if he skips and then loses, like it's even worse, right? So that's something that you can also do, right? How exactly would that look like? Maybe you go here, and then run take his wolves while he's taking Krugs. Or if you have one winning mid lane and you have enough of a temple lead, maybe you go Krugs Raptors and then go into his Raptors, contest him there.
And kill him.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2v2, kill him, take his Raptors, and then take Dragon afterwards, and then it gets pretty crazy from there, right? But all of this comes from the first step, which is keeping good tempo.
Cool.
Right? Literally just like
I feel like
yeah, go ahead.
I feel like my tempo seems to be pretty good for the elo I'm in, but there is a lot of opportunity to make it even better, which would just make it easier to just close out. Is that right?
Exactly. Yeah, because then if you get enough tempo leads, like if you're fast enough, there's even a situation where you won't be done with your first clear, and then you could literally run in here and invade everything. Like if you're pathing bot and you have enough of a tempo lead by 3rd, because every clear it stacks up, right? Every clear maybe you get like a camp lead, and then by the 3rd cleared, you're up like 3 camps. So you have time to like finish your 3rd clear and then literally run in here and take everything with level 6, right? Or something like that. With item advantage. And then you just take their camps and it just gets insane afterwards, right? But the first step, like I said, is like keep good tempo. I'll just write keep for shorts, right? That's going to give you a tempo lead. And then once you do get a tempo lead, right, then you go into invades or objectives, right? Something along those lines.
Okay.
Right, some of those, okay? But yeah, so you take this, you take wolves, and same thing here, you have a bit of time. Yep, and this is good. You have a bit of time, like you can definitely be super aggressive here. You don't have Jinx, but again, like Zach should be topside. This should be a pretty free, well, he should be topside, but he's not, which means that he skipped a ton of camps if he has 32 CS. You have 44. So he's only done this, and all of this is up. This is something that you'll
I was surprised by this, but I guess it's just low elo happens like this sometimes.
Yes. And the thing is, like, this will only work if he gets nothing, like, it's really, really bad for his game. And even if him getting a kill is actually not that good, right? Like, if he gets 300 gold, like, you already got your 300 gold from all 3 of your camps, right? So if he gets a kill,
makes sense.
Really just even.
He's not actually up that much because, okay, makes sense.
Yeah. He's now even in gold, but now he's actually behind in XP. He's still behind in XP until he takes his camps. And then maybe what you might be able to do is just like from the get-go, just like literally run over here, right? Or it depends on how much time you have. Maybe, okay, now he really has to do his camps. Now you can take Dragon Ball. He has to do that, right? And take the block grab as well.
Got it.
But yep, so this is something that you kind of have to be a little bit ready for. It definitely would be unexpected, so I can definitely understand. You can still just get out of here and just like, I think you could flash. We just have to, the way that we're kind of playing, this is more like very fighting micro stuff, but the way that we're playing against traps, right, I think is important, and it's like a little bit to track at first, but it's definitely something that we want to play against Viagra. I mean, these are, they're all.
I just ran into the cage and then she put the trap in me. It is what it is.
Yep, you run into a cage, and then we kind of try to keep fighting. When really here our mentality should be like, hey, let's get out of here ASAP. I know we run into a trap, right, and then we end up dying. There is a role where we can just easily just queue, not run into the Viagra cage, run away, and then maybe we have to flash out, and then we're fine. And then now Zach just kind of wasted his time. And then we can do multiple things. It's like, okay, maybe we get chunks so we can't contest a dragon. We can just recon and run here. Take a stop sign camps. And
got it.
A very simple thing that I like to do is like if you just simply do the math on the camps that you can take. Like if you take, let's say you take his Gromp and his Wolves, right? You take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you take 6 camps. And then he would only be able to take 2 camps, right? Off of taking those 2 camps, like you would be generating a 400 gold lead, right? Plus the XP that comes with it. So it's like really, really, really nice, right? So yeah, and then here, here, I mean, we have no time. We just go back to clearing camps. This is good. And then here, again, I think the way also that you want to approach games here is you always want to approach games from sort of, you want to sandwich them, right? So you want to stop their exits, which would be over here.
Yeah, I think I just assumed the pathing was good, but then it wasn't. So I need to be clicking down farther, but yeah.
Yes, like sort of the sandwich mentality with Genki. It's like, okay, they can't run here, right? So they have to run this way. That would be their escape, and we can cover that escape route here. So I'd say that's where we're going to be running towards. Now here would be a very easy pickup. Okay. Okay, nice. Should be able to kill, yeah. The traps as well, careful. I should be fine, okay. Yeah, but then we can just do blue buff. We could do Crive here this spawn. I don't know if we caught that, but it'd be good to traverse just walk in here and check if it's up. Walk in here, check it, and then do the blue buff, and then just go back to clear it afterwards. Okay. Clear again, okay, nice. We're waiting for a round. I would just do my Grom here, right? Just take it real quick. Just kind of get into the like. We'll definitely. You'll eventually get to the point where there are scenarios where it's actually going to be justified for you to skip camps, right? If the scenario warrants you, kind of like there's exceptions for you. It is okay for you to be late. There will go run into situations where it's good for you to skip camps. But again,
this is not one of them.
Yeah, this is number one. This is not one of them, and I just wouldn't really worry about it in your journey just yet. Right now, it's just very important to run that cycle of just like, hey, clear our camps and do something. And getting that down. Okay. Yep, and there'll be 2 things that will trigger you. Will not trigger you, but will make you pull the trigger on a gank. Number 1, there's a fight going on, right? So they're going forward and they're fighting. Because obviously that's one reason for them to expose their lives and actually move forward, right? And overextend. But second thing, they might be so focused on fighting and looking at how to, that
they're not looking at a minimap. That's what I was counting on here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the second situation where you would pull the trigger on the gank is when there's a last that they need to go for, right? So maybe there's a cannon minion, right here. And it's like as soon as they walk up and try to kill that cannon minion, that's when you're going to engage, right? Like not even when they go for it, like slightly before they go for it, you pull the trigger and you just come behind them, right? So you're perfectly timed to, by the time they walk up for the cannon, you're like already here, right? You're ready to get. And then same reason,
right.
They're focused on the cannon. There's a clear reason for them to push forward and extend themselves, and that can be a really easy way for you to pull the trigger on this. Regardless, it works well. And again, just pay attention to those traps. Looks like you didn't get for it that time, but it's totally fine. There's a TP coming in here. Okay.
This part's too committal. I should have just gotten Vagar and ran, I think, once I saw TP.
Yep, I think as soon as you see the TP, it's just this. And then this is The other way, and it might obviously take you a while. This is something to work on, like from Iron all the way to Challengers, like counting numbers, right? Which can be difficult
Yep.
when you're fighting. But a lot of times it's like a lot of this game can just be the reason why we don't make a good decision is just simply for not gathering enough information. And counting
Yep.
numbers is a really important information that we're going to gather because it's going to tell us like, do we fight? Yes or no, right? So a lot of times, because then if we look at this, it's like, generally speaking, if we have a number advantage, we want to fight. That's a reason for us to engage and go forward, flash on people, ult, whatever. But if you have a number disadvantage, it's going to be a reason for us to disengage. It's like, this is fine. We have a number. I mean, that's what ganks create. That's why ganks are good. They create a number advantage, and that means that you can fight.
Yep.
But as soon as you see TP, number disadvantage, let's just go ahead and leave.
I think I just didn't register that the TP was coming. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, which like again, it's fine. It's gonna take some practice. It's kind of like when when you first learn to ride a bike, you can't really talk to someone. You can't really pay attention.
yeah, exactly.
You have to like 100% focus on riding the bike. Only once you get it down, then you can literally just like look at things, and it's kind of autopilot for you to ride a bike, right? So then you can actually start looking at other things. Same thing in League. Like once this becomes a little more automatic, sort of the piloting your champion part, your mental stack will feel a lot more freed up to pay attention to other things. So yeah, and yeah, but I think those are going to be the main things. We'll look at one more pathing here. You do one more here, okay. Waiting for your gromp, and then here, this will definitely be, again, another situation where I would consider looking for a dive or looking for a gank. This is very Voliver specific because your ultimate is so strong. Like maybe if you're Udyr or you're driving, it's like, okay, if they don't show up to a wave here, like there's no gank, right? Because I can't dive them on full health. But because you're Voliver, you can actually just run in here. Hey, if there's no gank, that means we're getting priority, right? And if there's priority / push, right, that means we can crash the wave. And if we can crash the wave, that means there's a dive that we can go for. Okay. The tower. So it's definitely like from your timer, your gank opportunities do not end here. It's like you go here, you go through the tri-bush. Okay, she wants to overextend and last hit these minions because obviously laners have to last it to get those.
Yes.
Okay, then you come behind him. Okay, she's playing safe and she wants to wait for the wave because she knows you're here. Okay, great. We're gonna crash the wave.
We shove it and dive him. Okay.
Exactly. Yes. So I do think like this is definitely us ending the art timer a little bit too quick. And then sometimes this is like the other situations, like sometimes it will be okay. Sometimes there literally will not be opportunities for you bots. And in that case, you can just take your recall. And then the extra time that you have while you're waiting for your first camp, you can just spend the top side.
That's what I try to do, yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
and
cool.
Then so this is fine, right? It's like, okay, we're waiting for our Krugs. Might as well try for a gank, right?
Yeah.
And then let's just look at this last fight. So you go here, you see, okay, there's no gank, so you back off. And then Zach, he's in. You're kind of waiting for golems. Like here, I would much rather you just kind of literally sit at Tribush and wait, just so you have your closer proximity to anything that may happen top. And then maybe it's like the time that it takes you to walk through Krugs, maybe it's like 5 seconds. So once there's 5 seconds on your Krugs, now you can start walking, right? But until this, you're just literally sitting here and hovering. Just so in case anything like this happens, you have close proximity. And then let's actually see here. So like this, because Zach is not here, and this is like clear 2v. I would just insta stun and then R right now. Right, as soon as a stun, it's going to guarantee your ultimates.
Oh, just R him here, okay.
Yep. R from the very, because your R also gives you more health, right? It gives you more things to work with as well. So it just kind of empowers you as well to make it faster. It's more damage. And your R as well, it's like pretty decent damage as well. So you want to guarantee it. Again, like looking at fights, like the least way for them to have the least counterplay possible. And then that's when you R after queuing so that they have no way of dodging it. And then you just try to press the Zach down. So there's definitely some fighting stuff as well, which is also really pretty important as well, right? Because obviously you can have the best backer in the world, right? But if when the time comes to fight, we misplay a lot, then it's just not going to matter, right? So here, just insta R. And he'd probably be pretty close to full health. And then once Garen is walking in here, maybe you kite away, wait for your abilities, right? And then once you have your Q and everything back up, maybe you can flash on the Zach and then just like kind of finish him off with your next rotation. These kind of things. Because like the basic, you played lane before, and it's kind of like the same thing in lane. When you look at trades, it's like when your abilities are up, and the enemy's abilities
you
are
trade,
down,
and then for sure, in and out fighting, yeah.
Yep, and then when your abilities are down and theirs are up, like you want to not fight, right? So it's kind of the same thing in these kind of skirmishes. It's like you just use your entire rotation, you have nothing, right? Which Volley around the sea a lot of times has DPS, So like if this is a 1v1, you actually kind of want to keep the trade going, right? Keep getting your W heals, keep doing your lethal temple, but not in this situation where there's a Garen with all of his abilities up, right? Ready to just like shred
Right,
you here.
running at me.
Yeah, so here,
Okay, so what I should have done here is the same thing, Q, E, W, and then ult him instead of autoing him, and then once those are down, just kind of kite back. Is that right?
yep, like I would look to try to get the W in as well here, because it's pretty important for you to W proc early on so that your future Ws on the same target start healing you. So I would definitely like QEW. You can probably just skip the auto attack altogether, and then just instantly RM. And then you would auto attack, and as soon as Garen is close enough, you walk away, wait for your second rotation. Once your second rotation is up, now you can re-engage. And then that would give you a much better chance at winning this. And then, yeah, so the thing is, the thing to also about Voliver, I think this is currently the popular build to go this. You are a little bit, like, you want to get to items that make you tanky enough so that you can actually make your DPS count. Or like the issue is like you're a little bit squishy, right? Before you can actually get your W. And you don't have enough levels in W to like make your W procs work and for you to take long fights. So you do want to take fights a little bit slower. And then also the other thing I would highly just recommend them to kind of help you be a little bit tankier so that you can get more W procs, you can get more auto attacks, more dusting down procs, all that kind of stuff. I would definitely just opt in for Mercs or Tava as like
defensive
the
boots.
grand majority of the games, yeah.
Okay, got it.
Okay.